Who are you? What's your role? And where do you work?
I'm Nick Eberts. I'm a product manager. I work on GKE over at Google.
And what are 3 emerging Kubernetes tools that you're keeping an eye on?
For one, if you haven't checked it out, you should check out kubectl AI, right? So all the fancy agent stuff that you want, basically SRE and a CLI tool that we open sourced last spring. It's kind of neat. You can run it with local inferencing too, so you can run it with like a local model on Sonnet. Doesn't need to be Gemini or ChatGPT, so it's a pretty great tool if you want to analyze and inspect n number of clusters that you have in your fleet. That's a really great tool.
Any others, or we're good with that?
Yeah, I don't have any off the top of my head.
One of our podcast guests, Brian, identified 2 problems with traditional HPA. First, these metrics aren't always the best proxies for demand, and second, these metrics and HPA react more slowly than event-based triggers. What are your thoughts on using CPU and memory metrics for scaling decisions?
Yeah, so those are really tough metrics to rely on for accurate saturation, right? So the idea is when you want to HPA, you want to actually utilize the computers that you're paying for. It turns out that CPUs are not sort of real metrics, and so you want to use something that's a little closer to what it means to saturate your pod or your container, which in a lot of cases the easy button is requests per second, but you could do all kinds of fancy things with specific metrics that you implement into your application and export. And you could get way more efficiency out of using custom metrics than you'll ever get out of CPU and memory.
Now, one of our other guests, Zane, mentioned that KEDA is pretty underrated.
Yeah.
It has great potential if used rightfully, especially for custom metrics autoscaling. What has your experience been with custom metrics autoscaling?
Listen, custom metrics adapters are great. The Prometheus metrics adapter is great. There's a significant lift to get it running. So it's not easy to go from 0 to auto scaling on a custom metric, I think. No one's really solved that problem and made it super easy. And what I like about KEDA and these other frameworks that build on top of Kubernetes where they give you more of a platform feel is you sort of get all of that stuff just when you install KEDA. So you don't have to worry about installing the metrics adapter, exporting it. It's sort of all, it comes with the actual tool itself, and you can get much more intelligent routing out of the box based on whatever the proxies are exporting that you're spinning up for your applications. So super handy. I think the superpower is getting there faster with less complexity.
Kubernetes turned 10 years old last year. What can we expect in the next 10 years to come?
Kubernetes 2.0. Let's go. No, in all seriousness, AI/ML space is pushing Kubernetes to adapt in ways that it hasn't had to historically. And so I think you're going to see a lot of movement in the schedule, like back into the scheduler. If you look at DRA and how they're dealing with these desperate hardware classes to sort of represent within a deployment, all of these things are going to shape Kubernetes 2.0. And I think it's going to be interesting to see like how far it can continue to keep on going and evolving with like the industry norms and all the new buzzwords that are happening and popping out every month, seems like.
What's next for you, Nick?
So what's next for me is to hang out with this guy at KubeJam on Wednesday, which is really the only reason I come to Kubernetes. But no, in reality, my PM job, I'm looking hard at AI/ML training and inferencing and figuring out how to help customers do it efficiently and what needs to get moved into upstream versus just run like natively on GKE. So that's kind of my job, and that's what I'm getting paid for. So let's go.
And how can people get in touch with you?
You can get me on the LinkedIn's. You can get me on the Blue Skies. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have a YouTube channel where I just play guitar. You can get me there too.
Can you do a shout out or, a plug for the dad beats?
For the dad beats?
Yeah.
Y'all, if you want to see mediocre music played by a musician with even less talent, come see my band, the Dad Beats, when you're in Atlanta.
Okay, good.
We've got a hot event coming up. We're playing at my kids' school faculty party. Let's go.